The Zune, how Microsoft built the iPod killer and killed itself. In June 2012, Microsoft discontinued the Zune. Not because it was a bad product. Not because the market disappeared. But because the company that spent 6 years and hundreds of millions of dollars building it had already decided to destroy it, with its own hands. The Zune wasn't killed by Apple. It was killed by the person who built it. In November 2006, Microsoft launched the Zune. The timing mattered. The iPod had owned the portable music player market for 5 years. Microsoft's leadership, specifically Robbie Bach, who oversaw the project, believed they could take it down. They had the engineering talent. They had the distribution. They had the money. What they didn't have was a strategy that made sense. The Zune launched with hardware, a portable media player that looked like a thinner brick. It could play music, videos, and photos. The device itself was competent. Reviews were mixed but not hostile. Then came Zune Marketplace, Microsoft's answer to iTunes. For $9.99 a month, users got a subscription service called Zune Music Pass. This was the radical move. While Apple forced you to buy songs individually, Microsoft said, pay monthly, get unlimited access to millions of songs. It was, on paper, a smarter deal. But here's the architecture of the failure. The Zune was designed as a closed system. Songs played on Zune couldn't easily play elsewhere. The subscription service tied you to Microsoft's hardware. This made sense internally: lock users in, build an ecosystem, compete with Apple's ecosystem. Except Apple's ecosystem had the killer advantage: iPhones. When the first iPhone launched in 2007, a year after the Zune, it didn't need to be the best music player. It was the best phone. And it played music. Microsoft saw this happen in real time. The smartphone market exploded. The Zune remained a dedicated device, a category that was slowly becoming irrelevant. The company had options. Windows Mobile existed. A Zune phone could have been built. But instead, Microsoft pivoted to Windows Phone, a new operating system that launched in 2010. The Zune was now competing for resources with Microsoft's smartphone ambitions. By 2011, the Zune was already a legacy product inside Microsoft. In June 2012, the company officially shut it down. The hardware was discontinued. The Zune software was rebranded as Xbox Music. The Zune Marketplace closed. Every song you'd bought, gone from the service you'd paid for. The real autopsy requires looking at what Microsoft knew and when they knew it. In 2008, 1 year after the iPhone launched, Microsoft's internal projections showed the Zune losing money. Not by accident. By design. The subscription model was cannibalizing per-song sales. Users were paying $9.99 a month instead of 99 cents per song. The math didn't work at scale. But instead of fixing the Zune, Microsoft decided to sacrifice it. This was the hidden decision. Microsoft's leadership had already moved on. They were betting on smartphones and cloud services. The Zune was a product from an earlier era, the era when a company could win by making better hardware. By 2009, that era was over. The Zune's fundamental design flaw wasn't technical. It was philosophical. Microsoft built it assuming the future would look like the past: dedicated devices, closed ecosystems, hardware as the primary profit center. The future was actually becoming open, distributed, and software-driven. The most damning detail: Robbie Bach, the executive who championed the Zune, left Microsoft in 2010. He didn't wait to see the product die. He saw it was already dead and moved on. The Zune kept existing as a zombie product for 2 more years, not because anyone believed in it, but because it was too expensive to kill immediately. That's not failure. That's management giving up while the product was still running. The Zune teaches a brutal lesson about competitive timing. You can make a smarter product with a better business model and still lose. if your competitor's primary product category is moving underneath you. Apple won because the iPhone made the dedicated music player category obsolete. Microsoft didn't lose the music player wars. They lost the right to fight in that category at all. They built the better mousetrap after mousetrap technology had already become irrelevant. The companies that survive competitive shifts aren't the ones with the best analysis of yesterday's markets. They're the ones willing to cannibalize their own products before someone else does.